Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Welcome to the program Month of Allah. Today we're going to talk about some of the wisdoms behind fasting. I'm sure you've heard of the verse in Surah Al-Baqarah, Ya ayyuhal ladhina amanu kutiba alaykum as-siyam kama kutiba ala alladhina min qablikum la'allakum tattaqun. O you who have believed, decreed upon you is fasting as it was decreed upon those before you, that you may become God conscious, that you may have taqwa. One of the wisdoms or philosophies behind fasting is that it creates taqwa in us. How does fasting create taqwa? One of the scholars by the name of Mullah Naraqi, he has a book by the name of Jam' al-Sa'adat. In this book he divides the abilities that man has and the different powers that he has. The power of the intellect, the power of the desires, the power of anger, and the power of imagination. And he divides the different attributes that mankind has inside every one of these powers. So for us to be able to live a healthy and an Islamic life, for us to have taqwa, we need to strengthen our ability of aql and intellect. And this aql and intellect will overrule and oversee our anger, will overrule and oversee our shahwat and our lust, our lower desires, and also our power of imagination. It would all be controlled by the aql. Our aql will tell us when you should have lust in a halal way, when you should have anger in the right manner, what you should think about, what you should imagine about. So this is an ability that we need to strengthen, and that is in the month of Ramadan when we fast, we are in actuality strengthening the power of aql, intellect, to make the correct decisions. Prophet Adam alayhi salam, in a narration in Usul al-Kafi, which is at the beginning of the book of intellect, he has three different things that he can choose from. Either aql, intellect, or he can choose deen, religion, or he can choose haya or modesty. He chooses aql. And when he chooses aql, the other two say we follow wherever intellect and aql follows. Modesty and religion follow wherever intellect and aql follow. So in the month of Ramadan, when we are fasting, we are strengthening our ability, our quwwah of aql. And we're controlling our desires, we're also controlling our anger. And this is the essence of taqwa, to have this ability to control all the different powers in your life, all the different forces you have with your aql. And that is the difference between an animal and an angel and a human. Animals only have these desires, they don't use the aql. Angels only have aql, but mankind both has aql and also has shahwat and also has ghadab, and he is in a role to fulfill his obligations by monitoring and controlling everything by his aql. When we look at some of the other dimensions of the philosophies behind fasting, we see social dimensions. In a tradition from Imam Sadiq alayhi salam, it says one of the purposes of fasting is that so the rich and the poor can become equal, so that the rich understand what the poor people are going through, so that the rich, when they are deprived of food, they see how difficult it is not to have food. There are many people starving in America, many people starving in the Western world, many people starving, especially say countries like Yemen. When we are fasting, this causes us to realize what difficulties these people are facing when they don't have food. So it brings the rich and the poor together. Another philosophy or wisdom or benefit of the month of Ramadan, as we have in the tradition, Sumu tasihu. We say Sumu tasihu. Fast and you will be healthy. There are many recent studies done that if we start fasting in a certain part in the day, we're actually allowing our body to rest. That less insulin will be injected throughout the body, and maybe there will be a less chance of getting diabetes. That different cells that we have inside our body, these are theories, that these cells will be replenished. When you're fasting, these cells will be replenished more. Or for example, when it comes to our dental health, that when you keep eating and munching on different things throughout the day, you are causing your mouth to be more acidic, causing more cavities. Therefore, when you fast, you're giving your mouth, you're giving your teeth a rest, you're giving your digestive system a rest. And it is a great way for us to increase our health. And it's very interesting that many modern day scientists are coming to the conclusions that fasting is actually beneficial for our health. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وأهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين.